It's the Solo One Sci-Fi podcast.
Hi. So, hello and welcome to this week's podcast. We survived the pandemic. We got through one fucking chaos after another. Now it's the cost of living crisis, and hopefully we're still going to be going after that. Yeah. And then it'll be an alien invasion. No, we've got the zombie invasion next, then the alien invasion, and from Resistance HQ in the bunker in Portsmouth, I bring to you Coquelin, aka Michael Ball. I'm Martin Fowler, aka By the Gods of Science Fiction. I get very egotistical when I say
By the Gods of Science Fiction. Hello, Martin. Nice to talk to you. Just to say, this is actually going to be our sort of last show before we go on our hiatus. Lots of things. And this isn't Martin's fault. Martin cried to me the other day when he was on Zoom. He was on his hands and knees crying, begging me not to stop. And that sounds really dodgy. I don't know why he made that analogy at all.
Well, it does after the words the doink.
Yes, we're going to be talking about Martin's donk in a minute, but it's not what you think. Yeah, so basically I've got a lot of stuff going on in my personal life at the moment, so I'm going to have a break. Hopefully it won't be more than 3 or 4 weeks, but I should be moving house soon. So fingers crossed. You never know until these things go through. So I really just don't have the time. So first of all, Martin, how are you? How's sunny London? Is it sunny London? I always say it's sunny London every week. Right? I don't know if it is. What's it like where you are, your part of the world?
It's been very nice. I went for a walk in Park with you. I filmed my walk.
Oh, I saw some of that. It was really nice.
Yeah.
They have that tune that you always play that loops around.
Yeah, I was sort of messing about and quite enjoyed it actually. And
do you like a bit of nature then, Martin?
Yeah, well, on and off. I walk around the park with no clothes on every Sunday, and the people just go, "It's him," and I just carried on walking.
And
about.
They just say, "I like dogging" or something.
Yes, yeah. and then there were too many white coats that got hold of me and took me away. And then I got released the next day, and I'm back here.
Oh, I thought you were doing the actual podcast from your rubber room kind of thing. And it's because you've got the video filters along, so you can't see the padded walls or anything like that. Yeah.
So I filmed that. The weather's been okay. I'm going to a convention next week if things work and I can get there.
Can you say where it is? Whereabouts are you going?
Yeah, no, I will be. If anybody wants autographs, I will be in Eastbourne at WinterCon. So I won't be charging because, it's cost of living crisis, so I will sign a free autograph. And,
you know what? Actually, Marty did mention this to me a while ago, and if I hadn't had so much on, I think it would be lovely to come down and join you for that.
Yeah, it would have been awesome. Yeah.
But another time, definitely. This year has just been such a strange
year. Well, I might not
year.
Get there yet.
Actually, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I was sending something over to Martin today, and I was rushing to get it off. And what happened was I went to the post office. Oh, Mark, I'll give you a call after this. And then I said, hopefully you'll get this thing tomorrow. And I went there. No post today. We can't collect it. It'll be and I thought so. Martin's thing is getting now on Friday rather than Thursday, and it's just we were saying before we hit record. There are so many strikes now in every way, shape, or form, and that a lot of normality in life at the moment. And it reminds me of how my parent, my mum, and other older people used to say about all the strikes in the 1970s. And all sorts of things, and it seems to be really pretty negative about all this sort of stuff at the moment. So.
That was I was about. I think I must have been about 4 or 5 in 3 day week.
I mean, the only thing we haven't had so far yet is
never really noticed it.
What about power cuts? Remember the
I
power
remember
cuts?
the one thing I do remember is the power cuts.
Yeah.
The political, I was a kid, I was in my own world.
You wouldn't understand it, but you'd recognise the power cut. Now, what are the people of today?
My parents seem to manage. I mean, there were never any sort of probably, and
you just deal with it, don't you?
They just dealt with it. I remember the candles, but at 5 o'clock the TV came on.
But what do people do now?
I remember that.
Mind you, people would still have battery in their phones and 4G, so they'd still be able to watch you. They'd still be able to watch the podcast, wouldn't they, on their phones?
Yeah, but if they're going to turn it, if there is power cuts, that means the internet will be turned off, won't it?
Yeah, but I was saying, what about the 4G masts? If you've got a 4G,
well, they need power, don't they?
So I suppose they do. I hadn't thought about that. I suppose you're absolutely right. What will 16-year-olds be able to cope without the phone for 2 hours or something?
Well, I don't know. I mean, will I be able to cope with them for 2 hours?
Well, no, I know. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's getting more like Soylent Green when he was powering up the room with his bike and the light bulb would come on. I love that film. I know it's.
Well, it is 2022.
Yeah, it's the same year as Soylent Green, so you never know. Maybe it's becoming a reality kind of thing. And the next time I go into my local Tesco's and I see these strange little green kind of packets of stuff.
Have you noticed in the supermarket the same thing? A lot of the supermarkets around here, they've moved everything around.
Not in particular, no. Why would that be?
It's like this. I'm not saying there's shortages, there's stuff, but it's like they're trying to move stuff around. But you have your route in the supermarket, don't you?
Well, maybe they're trying to attract items which will be more of a profit for them.
Well, I'll tell you what has changed. I mean, I don't really buy much from there, but I do pop in because you pick up crap in there, the pound shop. That's totally changed now. They've it's not as that like pound shop anymore. My pound shop, they've got big freezers in now selling food, and they put clothes in there, and I don't think you can buy. It's very rare when you can find some for £1. Do you know what I mean?
A pound shop. Yeah, I mean that's pretty. What can you get for £1?
Well, you can still get stuff, but the
plastic lighter maybe or something.
Yeah, no, you say like you used to get a 6-pack of Walker's crisps, right? You get 5 packs in there now, and like say you buy some marathons or a Mars bar.
Yeah,
they've shrunk them down.
Do you know what I saw recently? A Nescafe bottle of the larger one, and then I got the new one. And I put it next to the old one because the old one had a bit left in it, and they had shrunk it down just slightly, and it's very, very subtle, and you can tell that they are. And you're paying obviously the same price, if not more, for the slightly smaller jar of Nescafe. So they're very subtly making you pay more and more towards things that you normally pay and don't think about.
Well, I rushed through central London. I was down there Tottenham Court Road a couple of weeks ago, boiling hot day. So I called the shop, buy a bottle of Coke, a can of Coke for £3.20. I said to the guy, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "Oh, I said £3.20 for a can of Coke."
£3.20?
Yeah, because it's central London, tall.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I said to him.
That's taking the piss.
Well, it was. So I walked around St. Many Sainsbury's and, I got one for I've got a small bottle for about £1.20. But there is shops like that.
Oh, no. Obviously, Central
only in tourist areas.
Yeah.
Only in tourist areas.
I mean, it's like Red Bulls. I love Red Bulls. I love energy drinks. And now I now go to the cheap alternative versions, which were 45p, and now they've gone up to 65p.
How many of them do you hammer a day?
I average probably one a day. Well, maybe one. Not every day, but I love them. I love them.
No, I don't. Well, have you ever been out and you're a bit worn out and you've had a can of Monster and it's got you home? I
remember when they first came out.
On energy drinks.
I used to have Red Squares. I used to have vodka and
I did. Yeah, vodka. Red
oh God, that's a good night with that stuff. Jesus, you get pissed and you get sort of like charged up at the same time. It's great. I did that
every Saturday. I used to hammer vodka. I had one. First one I had in about 4 months. Was about a week ago, a friend's birthday,
right?
And it was only a single that, and I got it, and it was like I could feel all my old addictions,
Yeah, they don't disappear; they're in the background.
But when you get pissed on vodka Red Bulls, it's quite weird. It's not
you just
like
get charged up. It's a different piss.
Beer, yeah, it's a different piss.
Not. You don't get like sleepy. You just sort of like go,
yeah.
Ooh, it's like. Oh, it's really strange. It's a very strange sensation.
I feel like, I have one a day. I mean, normally it's either a Monster. I only have one because I
Monsters are big though, aren't they? Monsters bigger, aren't they? Monsters
but you do get that. But I buy the little cans. I go to Aldi and buy loads of Red Thunder. Red Thunder.
They are so addicted though. I remember when they first came out. Yeah. They're not like any. I mean, you don't get anything like that with a can of Coke or something. But you have a Red Bull.
No, well, it's like,
and it's just something about it.
It's so like, strange. Honestly, I went out one day. I was knackered, and my legs and my back with it. So I called into a shop, got a big can of Monster, sat on a bench, and I heard Popeye music kicking. That make a great sound effect.
Yeah.
And I took it, and after about I had a cigarette, and after about 5 minutes, I was like, I stood up I thought, I'm going home now, and I just headed off home. I don't want to go.
Man with a charged up is like a fully charged iPhone or something.
I am very careful. I mean, I had one vodka Red Bull in pub. I was tempted to get another, but they put it was £7.45 for that.
Oh yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
so
what's the cost of a pint? It's about £4, isn't it now? About £4.
It can be anything from £4.50 to £6.50.
I think it's between £3.50 and £4. It's getting quite pricey.
Probably cheaper down where you live.
Yeah, but it's like I said, I'm hoping this is going to be in a year or two's time. But we basically
it depends where you go. I mean, if you go to a Samuel Smith soda with a spoon, it can be anything like £4. But if you go into if you go into a pub in central London, you're going to end up paying more. Do you know?
Now, I'm going to quickly say, because I know we're going off topic, but I do like these conversations sometimes, because we're not just sci-fi fans. We're normal people, have normal thoughts and feelings and fears. How do you think it's going to be with the winter fuel crisis, which is going to go up very quickly? What do you think it's going to be as bad as it says it's going to be? My mum is already dreading it. She's already getting things like sleeping bags and mittens and all sorts of things. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the thing is for me, I'm lucky. The gas is it comes in with my service charges where I live. So, but they have put them up.
Yeah.
So I did get a smart meter in.
Oh, okay, nice one.
That got installed 2 weeks ago.
Oh, recently. I mean, I think we'll be okay, but I think it's like for older people in their own.
I fair for a lot of people, it's not going to be easy. Yeah. But I think it's best. I'd buy a radio and get candles.
But I also
because the company power. It wouldn't surprise me.
In recent years, the winters have been quite mild, but we are due a bad winter, so it makes you wonder if it's going to be a bad winter or not.
Well, I think September's going to be sort of like. I mean, it is sort of changing now. It's getting dark.
Yeah, well, it's the last day of August since we're recording this, and that's strange. It already feels like it's the end of summer.
I'm just going to take it a day at a time. I mean,
I think that's the best way. I mean, with my life, with moving house and new jobs and everything else, we're just taking it one day at a time. But yeah, it's a stressful time. So
I don't think I'll be going out spending and buying stuff. I think it's
I'm not going. Well, we're saving the pennies for for moving house and stuff. But
I think that's what I'm going.
I really want to. Do you know what?
Saving the pennies. Yeah.
I want to get this year out of the way, quite frankly, and I always say this, but this year it's been a year where lots of stuff has been going on in my life, yeah. Anyway, let's not go on because obviously, but I do like a natter. I do like to catch up.
No. I mean, don't forget this started through the pandemic, so.
Yeah, and
now we're moving into another fucking crisis. Do you know?
Yeah, it's actually. Do you know what the Solo on Sci-Fi podcast? I'm sure that every disaster has started since we started, and it's been nearly 3 years since we started.
You can't blame. We can't be blamed for all this. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get political, but I want to change the government. Again, if we get a chance, they're going to fucking do it. So,
obviously, we're going to get a new prime minister next week.
Do you know, to be honest, I've not followed any of it. I watched one episode of it, and I switched it off.
No, I don't follow it.
To be honest, I'm not left or right in politics. I'm
not either. I'm not either. I've got my own values, and I am. I mean, to me, it's less. Like I said.
I don't like him, and I think I'm not a fan of her at all. And I watched them both coming out with the same shite over and over.
Yeah, but they all do. They always come up with shite.
I'd like to see somebody come up with solutions and answering the problems, and all we're getting is crap. I'm not going to go into the political whys and what's. For me, I'm not a fan of them.
No,
the opposition I think are getting better, but they've got a long way to go.
So the last question, very quickly: would you like it if we had a change of party for the moment, just to see what the opposition would be like?
Yeah, I think. Look. After having how many fucking prime ministers have we had in last? I mean, they've
We've had
either left
about
or been
3 or
sacked.
4 in the last
We've
10 years, haven't
fucking
we? We've
loads
had
of
quite,
them, haven't we?
yeah, we've
I
had quite
think
a
it's
few.
time now that I think it's time that the main electorate should be allowed to choose the next leader, not a small group of people. I don't agree with it. I
No.
think all right. Once I think after the first one went, that's fair enough. But after that one, we've had 2 or 3 since. It should have been put to the people.
I agree.
You know, because I've got no say in what you've got no say. Do you know what I mean? I mean, personally, I'd like but I just want a thing to change. I'm fucking sick of it. Same thing over and over again. You know,
Just goes round in the circle. It's always the same
you know,
shite.
and they're all in there in fucking trough. You know,
Yeah.
I noticed they get fucking pay rises all the time of $2,000.
Of course
a
I
year,
do.
you know what I
Of
mean?
course I do. Yeah.
I mean, we might as well start the Solo One Sci-Fi party and get ourselves in there. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we'll probably.
We'd have to make political objectives and we'd have to make ideas. That'd be great, wouldn't it? The Solo One
Well, I'd
Sci-Fi
just
party.
have Star Trek on TV 24 hours a day.
Oh yeah, well I'd like that, and Sliders another channel, and Stargate and Star Trek, oh whatever. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And I'd probably ban Doctor Who.
I'd ban football.
Oh yes. I never said that. That was
Sorry, if you're not aware, I'm the only person in the UK that loathes football because
I can't fucking stand it either.
I
think we've got World Cup next. Is it next year? World Cup?
I saw something about
an advert for it.
Wasn't there something happening in October, or was that my imagination?
Oh bloody 4 weeks of that.
Oh, it's not. Is it? Oh, please. I don't know. I don't know anything. I saw something going. I saw something, but it might have been one of these local team things. So it might not have been. Please, not the World Cup. Oh God, please no. I don't know. We had that women's thing, didn't we, about 2 or 3 months ago? That female women's football. No, well, I didn't either. I don't know. You know me in football. I mean, Jesus Christ. Now listen. I think what we'll do is, because we'll have the usual Zoom limitations, and we haven't got much news, or I haven't got much news. Let's go into our Solo One Sci-Fi news, and then we'll go into our focus of the week, because we've only got 7 minutes to go until we go.
Well, let's do the news now. So
that's what I'm saying. So let's go into the jingle, and here we go.
Working.
Solo Sci-Fi
News.
All right, so this week I haven't actually got much news, which is why I wanted to go into it first. It's kind of like it's all sort of like the same old things where apparently, what did I see about it? Let's have a quick look in here. Cult box. Yeah. What did I see? Star Trek Picard season 3 teaser shows us returning Next Generation cast updated. It says on here. Did we say about Lower Decks as well that it's going to be a live action crossover? I don't think we said about that.
Yeah, we've done that. Yeah,
we've done that. Actually, this is what I've. See, I haven't got. Okay, I'm looking for news my end, but I've got nothing. Have you got anything your end?
Did you watch episode 2?
No, I didn't. I was dreading you asking me that. I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that. I didn't. Did you like it? I'll ask you that.
Oh well, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was good. I'll probably get shot. It's been banter for.
Oh, do you know what? All week
it's been totally banned. But I like.
Oh, has it been banned? Oh, okay. Well, so it's. I mean, I like I said. The thing is, like I said to you before, this is more your genre. You're more into the comic sort of characters, and you know the legacy of She-Hulk. But yeah, I don't know for other people. If other people have panned it as well. So why has it been panned? What is it they don't like about it?
Well, I'd rather not say. Well, apparently it's anti. I mean, look, I'm not into all this, but apparently some people.
Oh, so that's not the show itself. That's just like.
Well, no, the humour, and they're all complaining about her views and stuff. Well, apparently she's in first episode she was anti-men, but I found that she wasn't anti-men. I didn't get that she was a modern female.
Yeah, and, I didn't get any. I mean, I only saw the one episode, but I didn't get the anti-men.
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of them complained about. I think the CGI looks terrible. They really need to.
Everyone's
on Mark Ruffalo it works very well. But on her,
she looks terrible. She looks
like a cartoon character from Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but I don't mind it. I have enjoyed it. It's half an hour. one.
Excuse me.
I don't see any politics in it. I mean, some people are going to say, "Oh yeah, but it's all this," but my mind is not going there. I don't sit there analysing political sort of thing. It's okay. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to episode 3.
Good for you. I saw episode 4 of was it the stories from the Walking Dead? I think it's Stories of the Walking. I can't the name of it, something like that. And it had Anthony Edwards in it, who I remember, of course, from things like Top Gun and a film which it's funny. I posted about this film on my top 10 films, and one of my top 10 films is a film called Miracle Mile, which features Anthony Edwards, Denise Crosby, and some others. Have you ever seen Miracle Mile?
No.
Oh, right. If you get a chance on our hiatus, I think it's a classic. It's just a great film where this guy finds out that the nuclear war is about to start, and he's trying to get his girlfriend out of Los Angeles. It's Anthony Edwards. It's a great movie. I loved it. It's one. But anyway, this actor who was in Top Gun, he's in this episode. He was very good.
I did watch something on Amazon for the first time.
Oh yeah, what's that?
A new series. It's a bit. I watched Reacher.
Oh. Because you also mentioned Sand King. Was it Sand King?
Sandman. My mate, what's that?
I've not seen that yet.
He keeps going on to me to what he said. It's a masterpiece.
Have you seen it yet?
I told him if I get time this week, I'm going to sit down.
Yeah, because you told me about that, and I've not seen it yet, but I will give that a go at some point as well.
But I watched Reacher. Jack. I don't know if you've seen Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise. I've not seen it, but based on this character. He goes to towns and he carries his toothbrush and his out-of-date passport, and he turns up in this like dodgy town in America and basically exterminates everybody. And he's a right nice guy, but he don't like bullies. Okay. And when all these people start to kill him, he goes, "Before you do this, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to walk away." And they're like, right, and once 10 seconds, he kills them all. And it's really good because it's unusual. I really like the concept of it.
I like sometimes things where it's just a strange. Yeah. I mean, the one
he's a decent bloke. He's really decent, but it's only 8 episodes, so you can watch it. Yeah. But apparently, it's the biggest hit on Amazon.
Okay. Yeah. I'm still watching For All Mankind season 3.
I've watched all that.
When we come back as well, that's what I want to do, For All Mankind season 3 review, because that's quite a big one, because that's a really good show. What's the else have I seen?
Doesn't Andor start this week?
Mando, The Mandalorian.
No, Andor.
Oh, Andor. No, that starts in another month, 21st of September. So no, it's about 3 weeks.
That's been put back. They put it back, haven't they?
I think it's because it was clashing with She-Hulk.
Ah, right.
Yeah. So, looking forward to that. I think Star Trek Prodigy is back on. I'm sorry. I know it's very good by a lot of people. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered about that. Sorry, Trek Fan 68. I think he quite likes that. Hi, by the way, Trek Fan 68. Thanks for always.
Hey, buddy.
Like I said, I'll watch it eventually. It's very good. But it's funny with the Star Wars live animated series, Rebels and Clone Wars are both very good. But do you know what? I can hardly remember anything about them apart from the fact that they were very good.
I think it's one of those things.
I
think for some people they watch it just to fill in the blanks of it all.
That's why I watched it, and it was very good. But to me, I only really clicked the live action. I don't know why.
I think it was Trek fans' wife's birthday the other day. I did.
Oh, a happy birthday!
I think because they put it on Facebook. I did.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. Well, happy
birthday to family, mate.
Live long and prosper. I hope she likes Star Trek as much as we do. Well, I think because we're going to run out of time with the Zoom again before we go into our segment. So, any other quick news before we go into our focus?
I've got nothing. I've got absolutely nothing. It's
really
dead.
Quiet as well. I know. So, all right, let's go into our focus of the week and talk about a show which we've only both just seen for the first time. So here we go.
Oh, that.
It's the Solar Sci-Fi Focus of the Week.
All right, so this week we're talking about a show from the BBC. It's from 1981, I believe. It's something I wasn't actually aware of. It was a TV serial. It was called The Nightmare Man, and it was a science fiction drama serial translated, like I said, by the BBC TV in 1981. It was a 4-part serial, which was adapted for television by Robert Holmes from the 1978 novel Child of Voldyanoi by David Wiltshire. It was produced by Ron Craddock, a former producer of Z Cars, and directed by Douglas Camfield. The series, like I need to say, both Martin and I hadn't seen this, and this is all the fault of a Facebook group that we follow. And in all seriousness, they're actually a really nice group of people, and I'm only joking. But the series was set in a small Scottish island where the population is gripped by fear, following a series of savage murders and the discovery of a strange craft on the local beach. I will first of all say that technically it does have some science fiction-ishy elements in it, so we can be covered in this. Now the cast was Michael Gafkin as James Warwick, described as being an English dentist. Michael Gafkin is a former officer of the British Army's Parachute Regiment and is a keen golfer. I don't know what's going on about what they like to do. So we've got other characters: Dr. Simmons, Spectre Inskip, and Colonel Howard. Yeah, we both saw this series. Now, let me just first of all say, before we open to this, it wasn't quite what we thought it was. I think we both saw the beginning of this, and it actually started off really well because it was building up to an interesting serial. It was made, in my opinion, in one of the real heights of the BBC for dramas. This year, in '81, they'd made The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which was brilliant, and they'd also made The Day of the Triffids, which was equally brilliant. So we know that the BBC was on their game at this point. So just to warn you, I'm going to now ask Martin Fowler for his opinion on this series with a certain sense of dread. Martin, what did you think of The Nightmare Man?
You made me sick for that. Do you know, right, all right.
Come on.
Right. When you sent it, as you are a science fiction connoisseur like oneself,
So,
I thought you'd sent me a classic bottle of champagne.
and what had I sent you?
You sent me that.
And what is that in terms of a drink?
No,
then?
no, it's like because we have this similar taste. There's certain things we have.
No, most things, yeah. Most
Yeah,
things we've got
there's
a
like
very,
the Children of the Stones and certain Doctor Who, certain BBC dramas that were a masterpiece back in the 80s and the 70s.
Sure.
And we appreciate it. It's like a bottle of wine in a cellar that's fermenting very nicely over the decades. What you sent me was a can of Pepsi. And I was really excited when I got that. Right.
A flat
all
tango.
4 episodes. I
Flat
was
tango.
expecting, because I told my friend, I said my co-host, I've got this series. It's like I assume it's from the time of the Children of the Stones, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a masterpiece. So I went out all weekend. Sunday night came, thought, right, it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to put it on 4 hours there. It's going to be great.
It's 2 hours, but yeah, go on.
2 hours, yeah, 4 episodes. Isn't it?
Yeah, 4 hours, 2 hours.
Right, so I thought there were more. Actually, I thought there was.
Yeah, it's very short. Very short.
That's what I thought. I thought there were about 6 episodes.
Yeah, I assumed it'd be a six-part series. Yeah.
And it wasn't. It were 4, and I thought, oh, this is odd. So I put on the first episode. It's not there. Quite.
First
impressed.
episode was actually pretty good.
Not a problem. First
No?
episode got the vibes of Doctor Who, Fang Rock,
Stones of Blood.
Stones of Blood. Definitely Tom Baker, the thing on the loose on the island, and
Very
then
70s Tom
murder
Baker
happens
era.
or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
and then the TARDIS appears.
Yes.
Out comes the Doctor and Layla, and it's foggy round the TARDIS. That dark night.
And you see this shadowy figure with this weird helmet going,
yeah, yeah,
running away or something. Yeah, I could see that.
yeah. And Leela goes off. So
screams, sees it, and then goes back to the doctor and says,
the
"I saw
Doctor
something."
ends up in the tavern on the island with suspicious. paranoid islanders.
Talks to the police officer, the police chief that's there.
Yeah, and he's a bit of an idiot. And then the military turn up. This like guy who's like the secret guy who's wandering about.
Yeah.
But then we didn't get Tom Baker. This is what would have been. This is a what if, right? Let's get to the reality. First episode was interesting. I have to say the casting in this solid.
Great, yeah.
Can't knock that. Can't knock that. Solid acting. A lot of big sort of semi-big TV stars.
I recognise a lot of the actors. The guy that
Recognised
played,
her.
yeah, and he, the guy that was the Scottish police officer, he was in the last episode of Doctor Who, Peter Davison's era, the case of Anazani. I think he was the guy that was shooting him on, like trying to kill him. He had a beard on, and he was good.
Yeah.
Another actor in that was also played Dr. Soames in Day of the Triffids, which was made in the same year. And as you say, and also the lead was in what's it called? Earthshock.
Well, you've got to realise with these
a lot of good actors in this series. A lot of
these
involved.
actors, they were cream of the crop. They're all Shakespearean actors. They all trained at RADA. These actors.
Yeah, very the acting. I'd say in this defense, the
these are the
acting
best
in this series was very good, and it had a very
lot of the
good.
actors.
It had a good kind of eerie vibe, especially earlier on.
In the first episode.
Good cinematography. It was a good production.
Yeah, it was, and the acting. I mean, they were properly trained, best of British actors, not movie stars. They were on a lot of TV programs.
Yeah, a lot of the shows that era that you see them all over the place.
All kinds of stuff. They were everywhere, but they were the best, and you could see that, and I don't have a problem with that, right? And then it got into. You remember what was that Scottish soap opera called?
Take the High Road.
We got a bit suddenly by episode 2 we were in Take the High Road.
Oh,
and
I'm going to play that in the background. That's why
I mean, we're obvious in walking around Ireland, the Colonel, right? We knew we were dodgy for the minute we saw it.
Yeah, you could tell that he had this weird vibe about him, didn't he?
And then things start happening like the radio jamming. They can't get communications out at mainland. And somebody sees a UFO land at back of the farmhouse with somebody on a parachute. I mean, these little things are coming in the second episode, and you think this is getting interesting. But then we go back to people in a tent or a house.
Is that the first murder? Is that the first person that gets killed in the tent?
I think so, yeah. You see this red, like, it's got this, like, infrared...
The vision, like, a bit like Predator or something.
And this is getting interesting. It slaughters everybody.
Yeah.
And then, so it comes out. I mean, I have to say the death toll is quite high in this. I was quite shocked at that.
Yeah, and it's only a small Scottish island somewhere.
Yeah, it must have been about 8 people that got killed in this.
And there's only about 12 people on the island.
Yes, yeah. And then we got to the scene, right, where they get an impression of its teeth, right?
Oh,
and
that's
this is where it just fell on its ass.
The bottom teeth were okay, but the top were flat or something. They said.
Yeah, and then police office. I mean, I thought the police, they were just fucking useless, right?
Reg Hollis was there. He was the police officer.
Yeah, well, he was. I know.
The actor who played Reg Hollis in the bill, he was there.
Yeah. Oh. And it got fucking worse. And then suddenly by episode 3, he took over he walked in and said, you're all like under martial law, under government section 42 of the Official Secrets Act.
That's it.
We took over, and this police, so he said, but if you're going to do that, you need paperwork.
Yeah.
We need to see. And he goes, oh no, well, we're above that. And I'm thinking, have they been sent there to you see, my thinking by this point was, is there a special military unit? A down-flying saucer has come down. There's something running on the island trying to survive, killing everybody. And are they there to capture the alien and the UFO, intact for the technology, military-wise?
Like Men in Black or something. Like
yeah. That's why they were there, obviously. And my God, it turned into something else. I sat there, and then when we started figuring, now this thing, it went... and slashing away at everybody in a leather suit running about.
Well, you hardly saw him, did you? It was very, very
we
minimal.
didn't see him, did we?
No,
I mean, it got shot twice and survived it. I mean, they shot it and it survived. And we're all thinking it's a fella running round in
A
a
Russian,
leather
a Russian
fucking
fella,
suit.
a Russian fella.
A Russian fella, and his helmet is because of heat or some explosion. Right, he's melted the part of his helmet to his mouth, and they're all thinking it's this new form of life with teeth.
Yeah, yeah.
Helmet, right? So I'm sat there. I thought, are you kidding me? And it got worse.
It just
And
got really strange, didn't it? Yeah.
it got worse, and then he comes out and says something like, he said, "Oh, we've learned secretly to merge a human brain with a
With the
miniature
submarine.
submarine."
Yeah, they're like a Borg collective kind of thing or something.
Yeah, and it was on patrol in the channel, right? And the submarine exploded, radiation leak affected him in his
Yeah.
cardboard submarine, which 2 people carried, right? Right. I mean, I saw the size of it. There were no, you or I could not fit in that thing, right? And then all these men turned up, and then UFO with a Russian paratrooper.
And all these Russian soldiers were suddenly there, and then the guy
Yeah.
that was from the government, he was suddenly a Russian soldier or something. It was like,
Yeah,
okay.
and so like, where's the British government or the military and all this? Like, surely if an island's been cut off from mainland, they're going to investigate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It
You know,
was just-
anyway, there's a load of running about. This thing is running about, and they're trying to catch him, and then he kills the fucking colonel or something, and then anyway, I think they shoot him or something, they kill him, and then they take all evidence away. But it's some stupid, pointless experiment where this guy merged his brain with a miniature submarine made out of cardboard, which 2 people can carry, right? Never explained what this miniature submarine did. It were on patrol, doing what? And he's running around in a leather fucking suit, slaughtering people because he's lost the plot.
Yeah, and radiation.
And then,
sickness,
and how do they all get off the islands? You know what I mean? Because they say the brass turns up, the military turns up at the end of the British military. So they must have all probably been arrested. I honestly, first episode, I'd say 1.5 of episodes of this were all right.
yeah.
But by end of episode 2 and beginning of 3, this were down toilet.
The end of 2 to 3 is when it started to transition to like episode 4 is
to that.
and we saw
the-
literally that.
And they called it the Zadoink or something, or the Badoink.
Yeah, and it was like they weren't talking about his anatomy or anything. It was
Yeah.
it was a very I mean, like I said, I wonder why I hadn't heard of this, and maybe it was, I don't know
Well,
what it
it
was
probably
like.
for best you hadn't heard of it because
Well, maybe it wasn't. I don't know how. I mean, obviously, no, I mean, I just want to say that I'm, because probably the people on the Facebook group that we follow, the Nightmare Man,
Yeah, we are.
they're a very, very
They're a
nice,
good group.
a really nice group of people, and I just want
And
to say,
some
I asked
rather
them.
interesting subjects to talk
Yeah,
about.
I asked them if they wanted to come along. Obviously,
Yeah,
nobody
I bet
nobody
they
did, but that's
fucking
fair enough. But like I said, we're not. We just weren't that. We didn't kind of click with it perhaps as much as we thought it was, and it's strange. It's kind of like it's stalled. It's like a rocket taking off and then stalling midair and then just sort of falling, crashing down in flames.
Look,
It starts off well and then it just loses it. It's really strange. I can't put it into words. Very strange series.
was it a children's program?
I don't think so. I think it was a proper drama. I don't think it was a children. It didn't have a children's vibe at all to me. It just felt like a BBC drama.
Yeah, but if you watch Children of the Stones, that's not like that. Don't come across as a children's program. That'll freak you out. And that freaks me out even today still.
Yeah,
man.
but this was less of the scare factor. It was more about what is this? It was less of the creature that we saw for about 3 scenes in the whole thing. When I did the graphic behind me, it was literally one tiny image at the side of him, which I grabbed and then mucked about with some other stuff to make it as the background. There wasn't much there at all. I'll have a look on here about it. There's not much actually much on
What's its history? Why did the BBC make it? Was it
I'm
made
looking
for
now. It just says where it's shot. It's shot in the Cornish village of Port Isaac. It said that the series has been released in DVD Region 2 UK by BBC Worldwide and their cult TV range. It just says the release. There is a couple of Nightmare Man links on Internet Movie Database and BBC Online. There's not much on there, at least from this side.
So it's not telling you what audience. Because I thought when you sent, I thought this were like them we used to get on a Sunday night when you were a kid. like half an hour of some
reminds
kind of
me a
weird
bit-
adventure series. I thought it was something like that, like Children of
It
the
reminds me
Stone.
a bit of Tales of the Unexpected, actually. It had that
No,
vibe to it.
that's a bloody insult comparing that to Tales of the Unexpected. Honestly, you made me sick. When you sent that, I was sat there for excellent. Michael sent something amazing here. No, I was, because I knew.
I'm sorry, I apologise.
We have that same
Yeah,
sort
we
of
do.
taste
Yeah,
for
we
these
do.
sort of
Yes.
things.
Yeah, yeah.
We know what class is. And I went straight. I thought, I'm going to watch that on Sunday. I know if this is going to be good. By episode 4, I was tearing me. Well, I ain't got any hair, but I was trying to tear my hair out. Do you know
Okay,
what I mean?
I found some
I'm keeping
reviews.
it, obviously,
I
I'm
found some
keeping it.
reviews. Here we are. So this is
Oh, go on.
a top reviewer on the Internet Movie Database. He says, "Not the best of British atmospheric spooky drama. Nobody does spooky, mysterious, out of the boonies drama as well as the British. And the late 70s to mid 80s was a great time for them. To armchair, thriller, chiller, Tales Unexpected, The Agatha Christie Hour, and many more besides. Unfortunately, this one isn't one of them. The style over substance approach, which can often work well in these types of programs, falls flat here. Most irritating is the screenplay, which is constantly forcing silly ideas into our heads. What if the mysterious thing killing the sheep is a monster from outer space? There are ludicrous attempts to shower the viewer with suggestions of what's going on through the screenplay, which makes the entire relationship between the characters a little forced. When the military enter the scenes, they seem to embrace the locals and tell them everything that's going on. Soldiers running over a heath come off as silly and time wasting. James Warwick does a wonderful job of staring off into the middle distance and getting annoyed over nothing. Celia Imrie has the best eye makeup artist in entertainment.
Yes, she
Provides
does.
an
Now,
insane
she was very attractive.
and provides an insane amount of Doctor Who assistant style exposition along the way. There are a few vague similarities to other TV programs of that time, especially from children's TV like Time Slip, Ace of Wands, and Children of the Stones, which you've already mentioned.
This is what I mean. Like, we should cover Ace of Wands at some
I've
point.
not seen them. I'll let you check those out.
I did a couple
All right,
of Ace of Wands.
If we watch those, will they be better than this thing?
Yeah, trust me, Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands is. I did a review on it, and I got thousands of views on it. Some people went out and bought it. Even the intro is amazing. The Ace of Wands, and they cancelled it and replaced it with the Tomorrow People, which.
I remember the Tomorrow People as well. I do remember that.
But Ace of Wands is something we should cover. Now I'm going to tell you this: that Nightmare Man, it was shite. Now the British do amazing stuff. You make a great point about the creepy drama, Sapphire and Steel. The opening intro.
Sapphire and Steel. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And there was one I watched, Sapphire and Steel, a couple of weeks ago.
Very strange series, but it's creepy as hell. Yeah.
You got the big intro, but the house, it was just the phone going off and the camera moving around the house, the phone going. And you knew the house was empty, but the phone's going, there's noises in the house. Nobody can touch the British on that type of stuff.
No. Yeah, I agree about
this. Failed. It had it in the first episode. It had it. And if they could have kept the momentum to that. But the thing that shot this down was the story. The story. It should have been an alien. It should have been an alien or some force.
Do you know how last week...
force.
in its defense, remember last week how when you...
In its defense?
No, in its defense, when you saw She-Hulk last week and you liked it... No. What I'm saying is, you knew the back... If you'd seen the original She-Hulk comic writing and you saw... We don't know what the original book was like. Maybe the original book was much better than this adaptation.
I assume the book... Obviously, if they made it into a TV,
you think of the BBC, you think of the War of the
The book
Worlds.
must have been popular. The book must have been popular.
So it must have been good enough to actually be adapted into a TV. It might have just been that the TV version just wasn't very well done.
Yeah, but then we did get War of the Worlds, didn't we? We won't talk about.
Yeah, but then we got the original tripods, which was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. Tripods had the creepy factor to it. It did.
Yeah, but tripods is one of my all-time favorites.
That is what the British are good at.
So this should have been better then. It didn't work.
Yeah, no, it should have been, because I'm going to tell you, like in America, I'm not knocking our American brothers and sisters, But when they make multi-million-dollar productions of everything, a lot of it's superb. But the one thing the British are good at on a cheap budget is creating
Creepy.
spooky atmosphere.
Yeah, the creepy
Like
atmosphere.
Sapphire and Steel,
Yeah.
UFO. You get these opening sequences of that in a house,
I agree
or
entirely.
on a boggy peat, you know, and it's creepy. This started wonderfully. It was like when you gave me that bottle of wine, I'd poured the first glass, and it was wonderful.
But you end up with
And
a
then-
flat tango.
Well, no, I'm in the toilet puking it all up 10 minutes later. Do you know what I mean? Cursing your name because you made me watch this.
You bastard.
And,
Yeah.
you know, no, it was good. I'm glad you sent me it because I never knew this existed.
No, I didn't either.
This got past me.
No.
And I never knew anything about this until you sent it. So I'm glad you did.
I
because
think that the one
how
fear,
fascinating.
the most fearful factor about this podcast is: are we going to get chucked off the Nightmare Man Facebook group?
No, I don't think so. I mean, well, you did ask him if they wanted to come on,
I
but
want to shout.
nobody
I want to
offered,
give
did
one of the founders, or actually, I think it was the founder of the Nightmare Man group was John
Yeah.
Adam Jackson,
Yeah.
who was a lovely
Yeah.
guy
Yeah,
who
well,
unfortunately succumbed to COVID a couple of years ago, and people have obviously, like me, have tried to keep the page going. And I just want to say, John, up there, please don't take it against me. You know, you're a wonderful guy, and there's some lovely people there. It just, for some reason, both of us we're quite similar at this one. It just didn't click with us, unfortunately. So,
no, it didn't. No,
but
it didn't.
if it's something which you really find
wasn't.
special, I don't know what it might have been that I might have seen it differently now. If I'd have watched it originally back in the early '80s when it was newer, and you got the more of the nostalgic feel.
That is an interesting point because if you, I assume this will have been on BBC Two.
I don't know what it was on.
This will have been
It might have been just the BBC Two. Like Hitchhikers was,
this wouldn't have been on BBC.
Yeah, Hitchhikers was BBC
so.
Two as well, I think.
So this were on half an hour a week on BBC
Like
Two.
9:30 on a Thursday night or something.
Yeah, and you'd have watched it, and probably in 1981, you might have thought this is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
It's got-
especially because we were younger as well. It might have
It's
been
got a
bit,
lot of good
it might have
actors in
been
it.
creepy. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Solid
Yeah.
cast, solid. All them people are major famous.
I recognise just about every actor in that show.
That Colonel dude, he's been in loads of stuff. You know, and Celia Emery, she's she's a massive star.
Yeah, she's what has she been else? I have to see
she's done movies there and all that.
Yeah, I do recognise.
You
them.
know, she's quite well respected. Like I think she's like a dame now. I think she's bigger. But
she
these
was down in Portsmouth when Donald Trump came to the UK. And there was some speech, and she was the one that gave the speech in Portsmouth.
Right.
So I did know her. I've seen her in stuff. I can't think of anything specifically that I've watched with her in it, but she's a familiar face.
She's done a lot of films. I think she's done a lot of them costume dramas.
Yeah, which is something I'm not
Yeah.
into, which is why I
No,
know
I'm
of her,
not.
but not seen that stuff.
But she's done a lot of that. You know them big acting things, like costume drama. And I don't. watch
I'm not
them.
into all those at all, but I know what you mean. Yeah, it's not.
But
my
I mean,
favourite.
it did have. I mean, it's a shame really because the story let it down. It wasn't the acting. I think it started right. I mean, the one thing about the BBC back then, they could shit you up with something cheap, and they were masters at that. And the first episode, like I said, it could have been like Stones of Blood, Fang Rock. It had that feel to it, and that's what the one thing it saves this for me is that. Do you know what I mean? But that's a what if. Now, the thing that let this down for me was the story. I would have rather have had it as being a supernatural force. The military are there. There's things going on. It's after something on that island or an alien.
Might it have worked better if it was just a two-parter?
I think so. Yeah. No, I think four parts. It might have worked as you could have done it as an hour and a half special.
That's what I was wondering. Just one feature-length special episode rather
But
than
the
like
story let it
4
down.
bits. I mean, at least then you, yeah.
If the book, I mean, obviously for them to finance that, the book must have been popular.
I'd assume so. I don't know anything about it.
I've
not found much
didn't know
about
anything about that till you sent it to me.
No,
and my
we
assumptions
would have known
were
that.
totally wrong.
So maybe that's kind of like that gave us an idea that it might not have been that big because it wasn't that kind of memorable.
Yeah. I think that'll work. That's what I mean. We probably did see this.
I don't
You
even
know, we
hear of it. I
probably
wasn't
did.
aware of it at all.
We might have seen it, and it one of them. It just went over.
I
your
mean,
head.
it reminds me of like another one which is really memorable, and this was really good, which was BBC, made about 3 or 4 years later, was Threads.
Oh God, yeah.
And we've never reviewed that. And that, to me, is how to make a BBC drama. Because I still have nightmares about that bloody program.
Oh yeah, no, we saw it.
Christ.
Got that. Well, they
Yeah,
showed
and
that.
all the kids
I saw
were
that.
traumatized.
They showed it. They showed it to all kids.
It's one of the darkest things I ever saw the BBC make in the 80s. And,
and they gave us the booklet and said, "Go home and tell your parents to paint the windows white."
Yeah.
But
so what I'm saying is that you know that the BBC has the power to make some really memorable stuff.
On a cheap budget. The BBC used to make class on the fiver.
Yeah.
You know, and I've watched stuff on the BBC. It costs next to nothing compared to some big production. The BBC, it's like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That were cheap. I mean,
classic Doctor Who was cheap.
It'll have been big for us, the BBC. Yeah. But then that film came out and spent what 150 million on it. What's
I wasn't that mad on the film.
But what's superior? The original.
Well, the original,
series.
yeah. And again with the Triffids, I mean. Yeah. That's had 3 versions. I like the Howard Keel one.
And the BBC one.
But the remake, which is a lot more money, was shite.
And do you know what touches it? Because when we reviewed Triffids, we reviewed it. Do you know what? Do you know what makes Triffids? Do you know what makes it? The intro.
The acting. And the acting in the intro.
That's all you need is that intro with that weird.
Well, the intro of this one was like red music. It was like the sign, wasn't it? It just sort of said the Nightmare Man. It didn't even have a. It was just like I suppose the red is the vision that the creature was seeing.
I mean, even that series you like back then, the virus one. What were it? Survivors. That intro, even now when I watch that intro,
that is got a fantastic intro. That's got an brilliant intro.
But it's
so
terrifying.
Scary.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And that could have had all that in that. That could have the potential to have that, and they didn't. But they can do it on a cheap budget. But the BBC have lost that power now. They can't do it anymore.
But at least it makes us take into account that even back then, even though we always associate all these classic series, but there were still some which they made which just didn't hit the mark.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think really, well, I suppose we should give it a rating out of 10. I'd probably give it a 4.5.
Do you know, I'm gonna feel a bit generous, right? Because like we have thought it could have been. I'm gonna say it
could have been a classic.
It could have been a classic.
Yeah.
It could have been because I have thought about reviewing it.
Are you going to do that on your channel?
I was thinking about it, but you said something to me in messages about being underwhelmed with it. And when I do, I like to feel inspired by something.
Oh, and you feel like it's more of an effort. Yeah.
That you can go beyond the final episode, or could there be a sequel? Sure. It offers something that it could be better, but in that, I'm trying to find, because the thing that shoots this down is the story. Because when you're thinking it's this thing running around this island. It's not. It's a Russian fellow with an helmet melted to his head. I think it's a tooth, and he's got orange visors over his head because he can't take his helmet off. And he's savaging everybody because he's lost the plot. That's it, and that's it. That is it. Now that's what finished it for me. Now if it had been something,
you mean the payoff was much better? Yeah, it had no payoff, is what you're saying.
Yeah, if it had been otherworldly, I think they could have pulled it. I really do. I think this story was terrible. I really do. I think the potential, the island, the farmer that saw the thing that came down, all that, and the military and the secret guy and all this and these innocent people and these things happening, you could have milked that for 3 episodes solidly without any answers, that this force is there. But when we finally get to what the answer is, and it just went down the toilet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have thought about doing it. I have, but I don't know.
So rating?
So
your rating?
I because of that.
He's not giving an answer. He did. Go on.
All right, I'm gonna give it. I want to be a bit more jacked, but I can't. 3.5.
Okay. All right. So I thought you were going to give higher than me actually. So 3. Yeah. Okay.
No, I can't. I
No,
want
all
to.
right. Yeah, I
because
do
I
as
could
well.
see if the story had been different. I think this could have been a lot better. I mean, if they altered the screenplay instead of saying it with this like fella in a cardboard submarine running about everywhere, like losing the plot. I mean, he got shot twice. They burnt him as well, and he survived all that. You know, I mean, that was ridiculous. If it had been this thing came down, I love the setup on the island. The farmer,
the setup was the best bit of the actual. The setup was
fog,
really good.
and what made it interesting for me, the thing that got me into it, all the communications have been blocked.
Yes.
And that I thought, this is alien. That was the first thing that came to my head, and it went in another direction.
I personally think it didn't necessarily have to be alien, but it just had to be a better payoff.
It could have been like
zombie Russian with a mask on. It was
something where they.
It was the payoff.
About.
It had no payoff. Well, I remember when it finished.
Payoff,
so I went. No. I actually said out loud, was that it? And the titles came out.
Yes,
and it's like, was that it? It's like, okay. Well,
when you messaged me, you said to me, I felt a bit overwhelmed with it, and I read your message, and I thought,
underwhelmed. You mean not overwhelmed? I wasn't overwhelmed.
Underwhelmed. And I read your message, and I thought, I felt the same.
Yeah, but the thing is, you see, you might have felt differently. I mean, like I said, we don't always agree on everything, but yeah, I think we're pretty much on the same page with this one. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, it has obviously got its fan base, and I do. I'm glad I saw it to get an opinion of it, especially after the Facebook group.
I'll tell you what I want you to review. I want you, if you can get hold of it. Right.
What's that?
There was a sitcom in 1983 about a guy that meets a female alien in the park, and he's got this insane character called Kinvig. It's only 6
You've
episodes.
mentioned that to me before.
I want you to download it, and I want you 6 episodes. It's a British comedy, and they never continue. It was sober. It's 20 years beyond its time.
Let me have a look on my phone.
It's called Kinvig, and it's fucking insane, and you can't get hold of it.
How do you spell it? Kingvi?
Yep, Kinvig, yep.
Big. Who's in it? Anybody famous?
Quite a few of them.
Oh, here we are. King Vic,
1981.
1981. Comedy, sci-fi. One of the actors from one of the Carry On, Patsy Rowlands from the Carry On films is in it.
Yep, I reviewed it. I got a big review on this.
Yeah, all right.
Insane.
I mean, it might give us it might get a big sort of hit with our YouTube channels if we do that.
Yeah, and honestly, I covered it a couple of years ago, and you know it's bonkers. And you want to Ace of Wands, you should be able to get hold of that as well.
All right, well let's look at that. I mean, like I said, it gives us when we come back from our hiatus. I'd like to do that definitely. I'd still want to. I mean, one of the ones which I'd like to do potentially earlier than later because I remember it so well. Is Threads. I'd love to do Threads.
Yeah. Well, let's go back into the past. Let's cover some British classics.
All right. So maybe when we come back, do you want to come back with Threads? How's that sound?
Yeah, and then that'll give you time to watch Kinvig and
also soon we'll do the For All Mankind season 3 review because I would have seen that by the time we come back. So. Yeah, well, thank you for that, Martin. I do appreciate. This is what I love doing about this channel because we always have some really interesting. We're not a hate channel, you know. I mean, we have tried to be fair with this particular production.
I think we're fair.
So, you know, because you get a lot of YouTubers, they just hate everything and hate it. We don't. Yep. We went into it open-minded. We were underwhelmed. But we respect the fact that it does have its fan base, and good luck to the people that like it.
But that's
all. We wanted to give an opinion.
Somebody might like it, you know.
So, like I said, this is it for a break for a while. So hopefully, by the time I come back, things on my end will be a little bit more settled. Because the show was set in Scotland, I have to, and I have played them once before. So I'm sorry, Martin, but we're going to have the Crankies singing Dr. Y. Because they're Scottish, and it is the most awfulest thing I've ever seen. So you're welcome. because this will also be on your YouTube channel, unless you edit it out before you put it on your channel. Martin,
No,
thank
I
you
will
so
suffer
much.
the pain. I will suffer the pain.
We've done so much. We've nearly 3 years now. 120 episodes is a lovely figure, but we are on hiatus. We've got no intentions of stopping. We love doing this, both of us.
Yeah,
and it's a
we'll
great
be
time.
back by October. So.
Yeah, I'm aiming for early October.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if there's any problems, but hopefully by then we'll be able to do something of some sort. But we'll be back, and until then, thank you, Martin, and we'll catch you very soon on the Solar One Sci-Fi podcast. Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
We're with Dr. Y and his time machine.
Here on the planet Zoom, it seems, where time stands still, nothing moves at all.
Not even the clocks on the wall.
Well, it's very strange.
Said Dr. Y.
Atmospheric conditions seem very high. The planet Zoom, I'm afraid, is doomed, and I really can't tell you why.
Dr. Y and his time machine. Dr. Y, is it all a dream? Dr. Y, can you save planet Zoom? Dr. Y, can you save planet Zoom from certain doom? Well, me, the doctor, and Jessie too had an idea of what to do. We said, Dr. Y, just listen here. Perhaps the planet needs to boogaloo.
So we'll have a party and sing some songs, and Dr. Y, I was going strong.
And very soon the planet soon will be rocking and rolling to the boogaloo. Dr. Y and his time machine. Dr. Y, is it all a dream? Dr. Y, can you save planet soon? Dr. Y, can you save planet soon from certain doom?
Well, maybe I'll tell you what we'll do.
What?
We'll have a party. Would you think you'll enjoy that?
No,
And why not?
because there'll be no atmosphere.
Oh, Mr. Right, me, Jessie. You look after my target. Jimmy, come along with me.
Why can't I go with you? Because you're fighting all the space monsters, that's why. See you later, Jessie. Go and look for some moon dust. Oh, we get left behind.